Hello and good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Monday, the 23rd day of September. Exactly 4 days after we observe the 41st anniversary celebration of our nationhood, and the buzz is still in the air. It's we celebrated just a wonderful time for our independence. I want to say good morning, good afternoon to all the nationals up there, and those who are here, those who came in for sharing with us. It's been a pleasure. I know some of you are still here, but of course, for those who are logged on, you're logged on to Win FM 98.9. I want to say good morning to Chris Collins. He just let me know he's online. Good morning to Bag of Sugar. Good morning to Miss Donald up there. We're going to pause to give credit to our sponsors first, and then we come back and see what's on the table for today. Downtown Jumpstone.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Chip, chip, chip. We want to get chip, chip, chip.
Give your little smartie the perfect smart start for their future with CHIP, the child investment plan from TDC Financial Services. Invest in your child's next step, and we know what's next is always changing.
Chip, chip, chip. We want to get chip, chip, chip.
CHIP is a long-term plan with no minimum deposit, no monthly commitment, and you're guaranteed a special high interest rate per annum.
I want chip. I want chip too.
Visit TDC Financial Services today and get CHIP, the child investment plan, providing the best head start for every child.
Chip, chip, chip. We want to get chip, chip, chip.
What has you so happy? My home internet just got upgraded and I didn't even have to pay for it. What? Which network you have? Flow. Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 300 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Hey kids, drink healthy!
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking, football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
The views and opinions expressed on this program were solely those of the caller and do not reflect the views of WinFM 98.9. WinFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who in WinFM's considered opinion is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
When you have an opportunity to suggest solutions to problems.
Fergie, this is the big one with a message for the nation. Of all the many calling programs in my country, if you want to talk popularity, it's 98.9 Win FM. Voices with Mr. Paul Ferguson. Calling on any topic you choose. He invites you to express your views, but you're not to call people's names, to slander or defame. But here's where the thing get controversial. Try telling him things really crucial. Even though you are armed with a fact, he tell you plain that he can't substantiate that. At our state-of-the-art health center, there was no backup generator, and so due to a power failure, a baby died in the incubator. Same time doctors in the theater performing a real delicate procedure. But before the caller could explain further, in jumps the moderator and he said, I can't substantiate that. I really can't substantiate that. Does it really mean it is not a fact? All because Fergie can't substantiate. Come again, I can't substantiate that. I really can't substantiate that. Does it mean it is not a fact? All because Fergie can't substantiate that. Play the song. We are back. And for the many things we can substantiate, let me try and substantiate this for those who are listening and those who can really agree with me. There's a heat wave downtown. It's hot. And I'm driving through the Fort Thomas Road a while ago, and somebody hailed to me say, well, she actually called me and I answered. She says, you ain't feel hot? I said, why? You have on your long sleeve shirt? So I said, okay, I'm going to Win FM. I've been AC for a while. It is hot downtown. And so for this reason, I want to appeal to the health providers, the healthcare providers, those who have friends, family, interns in their homes and may have to use AC, those who have the means of AC, those who are using portable fans, to ensure that your friends, your families, your elders are properly hydrated. It's something that we can easily overlook. Whether you want to go to the whole discussion of global warming or not, every year we see an increase in the intensity of the heat. Now, mind you, we are still in the midst of the Atlantic hurricane season, which ends officially, I think, around November 1st. And so sometimes when we get these heat, we look on the ocean, it's very calm. There's hardly a breeze blowing. You look at the trees, they're very calm. And we know that this sometimes precedes the hurricanes, the calm before the storm. But still, we have to be mindful of the effects of the heat on folks who are at home. Back in the day, you come out on the veranda and chill out or on the tree, etc. A lot has changed. But for those with seniors in their care, please be mindful of the fact as you're walking through the city or wherever, the heat hits you. And so we have to remember those folks who are not in any position to move around or fend for themselves. Please try your best to ensure that they are hydrated. If you can afford the fan, make sure it's, in a position that they can actually use it. Some folks are in bed, they're not able to move around, so please make sure that they're actually looked after, even if you have to head out to work. Now, topic of the day. Let's talk about our national consciousness. We've just celebrated our 40th anniversary of nationhood. And that should bring a certain identity to a people. There are certain symbols that you automatically identify with in terms of your sense of pride. Example, the flag. We see our flag with the 2 stars, and automatically anywhere in the world you go and you see that flag, it should bring a sense of pride to you because it represents you. Our national anthem, of course, taught in the primary schools, our children should know and learn the words and grow with a sense of pride and civic duty. You're identified as a national of St. Kitts and Nevis. Our music, there are people who know St. Kitts music. As a matter of fact, if I hear a track from Anguilla, there's a certain way it's played, it's arranged. I said, that's Anguilla music. You agree, Jamster? Right. And so there are certain markers that identify you as a Kittitian division. When it comes to our heritage, people tell you, well, I'm not African, I'm Kittitian, but that's a whole different story. But it's good to know that you identify. One of the things that I think could really impact our consciousness, and we have a call? Oh, because you give me the signal. We have a highway that is named after one of our national heroes, the only living national hero, former Prime Minister Dr. Kennedy Simmons. It's officially the Southeast Peninsula Highway. We call it the Southeast Highway, whatever, but officially at the foot of the hill, you have that. We have the Social Security Building and our airport, named after another leader, the Honorable Robert Bradshaw, Premier of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Social Security Building is named after him. The airport, the RLB, and as a tour guide on my tour, when I get to the junction to go into St. Paul's, I pause and explain to them. But before we get to that point, I explain to them about the airlift from Canada, from the US, from England to St. Kitts. I name JetBlue, all the airlines, and you will land at the RLB International Airport. Who is RLB? Explain to him he's Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, our first premier of St. Kitts and Nevis, and we're about to see a monument to him as we enter the village of his birth, St. Paul's. So I explain that, but I link it with the airport and the national identity, a sense of pride. We have the St. Paul Industrial Park that is named after him. There's a little bust of him up at the, just beyond the Fisheries Complex, right? And we have the, correct, yes. We have the J.N. France General Hospital, named after a former parliamentarian, Mr. Joseph Nathaniel France. What do we have in Nevis that's named after? Oh, yes. Everybody. We do have, thanks for reminding me about the Lee Elmore complex, the legal complex there, the courthouse. Thanks for that reminder. You're saying that maybe the Social Security Annex is named after former parliamentarian St. John Payne? Uh-huh. All right. How visible is that? How many of the people know that? Because we're talking about 41 years of national identity. We've had the request, the appeal from nationals at home and abroad to name certain streets after, say, Kenrick Georges, the author of our national anthem. And Chris Collins is trying to get my attention. Let's see what Chris is saying. Let's see what Chris is saying now. We have the request or the outcry from people from Newtown specifically to name the, well, at least George Street after Elston Nero the King Elimat. This comes from a sense of pride. Chris let me know that Sir Vance Amory, the airport is named after him. Malcolm Gishard Park, this is good, right? But let me go to some former governors, because many of the streets in St. Kitts are named after former governors under the colonial remit. I believe our first local governor, and I stand to be corrected, would have been Sir Milton Fentonville Allen. He would have served in his official capacity from 1969 to 1975. We went into independence in 1983. Prior to that, we had Sir Probin Innes as the second local governor. We went into independence in 1983. I think Sir Clement Arundel was our first Governor General in terms of being an independent nation. So he would have been the Governor General for St. Kitts and Nevis. I have to look for the name of the gentleman who was the Governor of Nevis. I know his name. I know him very well. He's well past. Eustace John. Thanks for that correction. Then Mr. Arundel was replaced by Sir Cuthbert Sebastian. Am I correct? Right. We don't have any of these streets named after them. But Fines Avenue is named after Governor Fines. He advocated strongly against educating the enslaved after, well, they were freed, but after emancipation. He advocated strongly against educating the populace, the black people. He thought they should not be educated. But Fines Avenue is named after him, a former governor. Malone Avenue is also named after a former governor. Haynes Smith Village is also named after Governor Haynes Smith. So I want to open the lines to the public for those who would have listened and those who want to join this discourse to let me know which part of Sinkage the thing should be renamed. Looking at the governors first, or cultural icons should be named after our nationals who have contributed in whatever way, because there are many of unsung heroes that don't get mentioned. But in terms of crafting or rebranding ourselves with a new identity, Haynes Smith Village, can we call that St. John's, Sir Joseph France Village? I mean, he was the parliamentary representative of that particular constituency. Where would we put Sir Paul Caleb Southwell? We are renaming streets. We are renaming avenues. Okay? Who serve in Central? Whether as a politician, a social worker, etc. It's time we recreated or rebranded our national identity. Malone Avenue, Fines Avenue, Hayes Smith Village. These are for Thibault Avenue. I don't have the history of that there, but I'm going to research it. He was a governor. I have quite a few of them, but I don't have their bio. I have the pictures, but not their bio to give me their detail. Warner Park, okay. I mean, the Warners were one of the biggest family in St. Kitts. But look at when we celebrate our independence and what we do. National Heroes Day, we go to 2 different locations. I have no problem with that. We go down to St. Paul's and we give honor to Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw. At the National Heroes Park now, where all of these persons are represented. Sir Kennedy Simmons, Sir Caleb Southwell. We have a call. Let's take a call. Go to caller. You're live on Voices. Let's hear what you have to say. Good day. You're live on Voices.
Good day, the King.
Carl Brown.
Yes.
I am happy to hear your voice, and I know there's good news for you because you're back on. We're back on, right?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back to the program. What's up?
Yes. The King,
Sir.
we have some matters to deal with today.
Okay. Not on topic. Let's hear what you have to say.
We are going to deal with the Attorney General.
I had Jamster play that song at the start of the program. You can't substantiate that, right? So whatever you have to share, let it be something that can stand scrutiny.
We can substantiate.
We don't want rumors. We don't want
Parliament.
any bashing of anybody's character. If you have an opinion to share, we'll discuss it, but we have to be careful, okay? And I'll do this for anybody in public office, even for yourself. So let's hear what you have to say.
Well, we are saying to the Attorney General, this is not the slave when they had slavery. And he seems like he wants to take us back to the days of slavery when the master said you could talk, you can't talk, you could sit down, you can't sit down. We are in 2024, we're not back in 1840 and those kind of things. And he seems to think that he can run into Parliament and he could force out anything and think that he's frightening anybody out here. Well, he's not frightening anybody. And we, the people, are not going to stand by and watch him drive us back into slavery. It's not going to happen. Right? And nobody is vexed with him for supporting his friend and his colleague. But in supporting his friend and his colleague, he cannot take us back to slavery. And the other thing we want to say to him is that what he should have done is advise his friend and colleague to go into the police and give a statement surrounding all those tapes and things that were alleged tapes and report that is out there. That's what he should have done as the Attorney General.
So far, that's good commentary. So far, that's good commentary.
Not running into Parliament and rushing a law and passing a law and think that he's frightening anybody and to want to suppress and want to think he could stop anybody from speaking or moving or saying anything on the phone. It's not going to happen, Mr. Gart Wilkins.
Question, did he pass a law or indicate that he would... Okay, I had a question. Did he pass a law, any law, or indicated that he might be inclined to do so?
Well, he went into Parliament and he said what he said, and it seems like they want to pass a law to drive us back into slavery and to put us that we are the slave and the 8, 9, 10 of them in Parliament are our masters. Can't happen. We are your all bosses, and we can fire you all at any time, and we can rehire you all at any time, and we can send you all into retirement.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I want to deal with is the bus situation in St. Peter's. I'm sure you must have heard that that is a hot topic that is on ZIZ talk shows.
For the folks who are unaware, enlighten us, please.
Yes. What is happening from September 1st, 2024, the St. Peter's Bus Association decided that Shadwell and the project were going up by Johnny. Everybody know Johnny, where Johnny shop be in the road.
Yes.
They decided that it's off the bus route, and they are going they are raising the bus fee from $2.50 to $3 to go in those areas, and started taking $3.50 from College Street, got to Ronald Shop in Shadwell. And then not only that, they raised the children bus fee from $1.50 to $2.50.
Wasn't this agreed to by the Transportation Board?
No, they take it upon themselves. And the thing what vexed the customers of these bus people, well, you know it's gonna be varied, right? Some gonna go with it, and many is not going to go with it. And you could check the police, you could check Sergeant Henry, you could check Deputy Commissioner Cromwell Henry. Where lots of reports has come in on that. And Deputy Commissioner Henry was on ZIZ and informing them that the bus fee ain't changed and they cannot add nothing else to it.
How recent was this? How recent was this?
This was 2 weeks ago. Deputy Commissioner Cromwell was on ZIZ radio informing them, and every Wednesday, Sergeant Henry is on ZIZ radio, and that's one of the major topics.
And he said there's been no official increase in the bus fares?
No official increase.
Wow.
What has happened is that the St. Peter's Bus Association have a submission before the Transportation Board, which they now take to Parliament. So it is being discussed in Parliament. They went ahead and taking it and did not wait on the Transportation Board and on Parliament.
Okay, Carl. Appreciate that. We have an next call standing by, but here's what. I want to get back to that because I thought I had a different understanding, but let's take this other caller, and we'll get back to you later on. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you guys, man. Good morning, Socrates, man. How you doing, man?
Wonderful. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. I want to congratulate comment Carl for calling in and starting this conversation about the AG.
Okay.
This is a conversation, Socrates, this is a conversation, we cannot get around this conversation. This should be the hot topic on all of the talk shows and Sinkers and Needles for the whole of this week at least. You know, what somebody says out of their mouth is coming directly from the horse. Right? There's a bill that was passed already the same day when he was ranting. There was a commentary by Chesney Hamilton. Nobody paid attention to that commentary. They passed a bill in Parliament that's actually taking St. Kitts and Nevis back to colonial era. It's an option, like Jamster stated, it's an option that they're trying to use. We understand that.
Jamster?
But, Jamster knows what I'm talking about if he could hear me in his headphones. The bill is putting a single judge as the sole person to decide on cases instead of a jury. The way how I'm pulling Jamster into it, because Jamster indicated to me that it's an option that they're going to use, and I get
He just
that.
confirmed that. It's an option that the person charged can appeal to.
It's an option. We gone past that already. But what I'm saying about that bill is that they can use that option more than less. They can use that option 90% of the cases, and the juror cases 10%.
Here's a question.
That means
isn't it a form of appeasement easement for the court's workload, where the person can opt to have that trial rather than wait a lengthy period to get a jury trial, etc. So the person have the option to choose, and that will be easement on the backlog of the court work.
I understand all of those things as opinions, but the people needs to get a clear understanding of what this law is all about, rather than them forcing it down our throats and rushing it through Parliament. The experts, people are calling for the experts to come in these studios and explain these situations to the citizens so we can get educated. The only thing that we heard about that bill was that Chesney Hamilton commentary that I heard on Freedom FM that morning, 7 a.m. News report.
Okay.
Different than that, I out here in the diaspora, I'm pushing for them to remove that Brian clause, so there's no restriction on persons who have a foreign passport that they can able to come home and run for politics, instead of just jumping on these planes and taking a ride home just to come home to vote. The rant from the AG has now taken me back to the Brian clause again, because in that rant that the AG had, he dispelled the people in the diaspora who is out here using the social media freedom of speech. And if I'm going to be attacked like that, I want to have the right to come home and run for politics to defend my people in the diaspora, because we don't have no representation out here. We don't have no representation out here. You heard about the saying, no taxation without representation. We in the diaspora just cannot be voters in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We also need to have the right, as a natural born citizen, to come home and run for politics, because when the AG made his rant...
You do have the right to vote. You do have the right to come home and vote.
I'm talking about running for politics.
To elected office?
When he went down on that rant Thursday in Parliament, he attacked persons like me out here in the diaspora who is trying to use social media to express ourselves freely, which is the basic fundamental right by the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. He needs to come to the public and give us a public apology, a genuine apology. Two wrongs don't make a right. He went in the Parliament and he attacked the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, and that rant that he went on was a technical threat to the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
He needs to be called out.
We do have to pause for station ID, but before we go, I believe there was an apology rendered. I don't know if that's what you're referring to when you say you want an official apology, but I understand from what I read that he did apologize. I'm not really sure. I haven't read it myself, but that's on the table for discussion. Okay? But we do have to pause for... Hello? Sorry. You got cut off by mistake, but we'll take this opportunity to go to our sponsors and tell them thanks.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices, Rams is always here. Rewarding your loyalty, Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
What has you so happy? My home internet just got upgraded and I didn't even have to pay for it. What? Which network you have? Flow. Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 300 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Okay, welcome back to our viewers and listeners. As you say, hail and respect to Mr. Eustace Hendrickson up there and the diaspora. Once again, morning to Mr. Valmonish, of course, and Mr. Derek V. Freights, and our many listeners and viewers up there. Now, the topic that seems to have taken over the morning discourse relates to the remarks passed by the Attorney General in Parliament some days ago. It has perked the ire of many, many persons. I have someone who sent me a question on my response, my action on this whole thing, which I didn't decide to address or not. A lot of many topics out there in the public sphere, I just don't deal with them because they, the person's direct this question to me. He said, what is your take on the AG action? I believe it was in order to protect people from the nasty rubbish, like he was subject to, character assassination. People post many nasty things which are not true and get away with it. If is the truth, then people posting will have nothing to worry about. Right? And he's saying people post many things that are not true and get away with it. I've been aware of many of the remarks, the public debates, the aspersions cast on the Minister of Tourism, her supported involvement with certain things that has transpired involving the death of a artist. Not everything that you see online is true. Not everything you see on social media you have to respond to. There's a call. Let me address this, right? And there are people saying that the minister should have responded, reacted to it because that may or may not be so. It's not everything. So every time somebody say hi, you have to respond to it. These are serious aspersions, no doubt. and you can't tell people how to address it. The AG seems to have made an attempt to address it. Sometimes it's not what you do, but how. And it's apparent that the how he went about it was not well received by the public at large. Right? But for me to weigh in on it and take one side or the other, when at the same time, some of the remarks passed, the aspersion in the way they were done, is not something I can support. The expletives, the disrespect, etc. And I think when you're posting something, bear in mind that there are children listening and folks at all walks of society. So if you really want to get your point across, maybe it's the way you do it. You turn people off. You actually get the attention of certain persons who think you're doing the right thing, but there's a right way. And I'm not telling people what to do, how to do, because it's your social platform, you do what you want. But sometimes how you do it is what causes to get your point across or not. If the call is still on the line, I would gladly take the call. I'm going to call your 11 voices.
Yes, the King, Carl Brown here again.
Mr. Brown in town, let's hear you.
Yes, the King.
Sir.
Another thing we want answers to. Is it true that about a week or two ago, Mr. Mikey Martin, the CEO of
CIB.
Yeah. Is it true he resigned or he was fired by our Prime Minister? We want that question answered.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
The other thing is, if it is so, who are the candidates for that job? And when they are going to alert the public that if it's true or false that Mr. Mikey Martin has resigned or was fired by the Prime Minister.
Okay.
The other thing I want to draw to the public attention and the authorities is that the old Bastia High School need landscaping. It is running away high again. And also, there are some trees by Warner Park when you're coming up, where you're going by the football gate. Those trees are hanging down in the road and hitting people in the head and in the face. You all please go there and trim them.
So a tall man like me would have a problem?
Yes. Short people like me and you're going to have a problem. Also, the cemetery, the Bastia Cemetery, need cleaning. It is running away wild. And also, the Bastia Junior High School yard need cutting.
So the Bastia Junior High School yard needs cutting?
Washington
okay.
Archibald.
Right.
It is running away.
The cemetery?
Yes, the trees by the park.
The trees by the park. And what else?
The old Bastia High School.
The old Bastia High School.
And the Washington Archibald High School need cutting again. It is running away, inside and outside.
Okay. So we see, thank you very much. We see parks and beaches on the road and various parts of the island, cutting at the verges, cutting, I think, I don't know if it's on the Daily Mate right now, but in this very rainy season, let me tell you, Jamster, as you blink, the whole place is overgrown. I spent most of yesterday morning just cutting grass, cleaning up because it is that time of the year. So, a little patience here and there because it's not the norm. So we will appreciate the folks listening to take the relevant notes and address those issues as soon as possible. Do we have a call on the line? Okay. So I was hoping that we were still in the sense of celebrating our independence and our national identity. And we'll look at how we can better rebrand St. Kitts Nevis and claim it as our own. We have folks who live in certain areas and don't even know the history of the name of those areas, etc. And I hope, Carl Brown, if you want to rename St. Johnson's Village, we have a call now? Okay. Go to caller, you live on Voices.
Yes, Carl Brown here.
Right.
Go
ahead.
It is very sad and heartbroken that we had 40 years of independence last year. We have 41 years this year, and there is no new national hero recognized or heroes recognized. It is very shameful and disgraceful. The last one was 9 years ago.
Okay, that's Dr. Kennedy Simmons.
Yep.
And we were hoping they would find a lady to add to that list.
Yes, and I have two relevant candidates. I can give them.
Can you share with the public?
The Honorable Governor General in Marcelo Libert.
Okay.
And the undefeated former Honorable Constance Mitchum.
Oh.
I'm sure nobody will question those two.
Are you sure?
I hope that nobody will question those two because they are things. And also, Kim Collins and the cricketer in Nevis deal that made the West Indies team.
El Camino Willett?
Willett.
Mm-hmm.
Willett. Those people, and also the people at the Buckley's
Uprising?
Mm-hmm. It is time now that we honor those people because those people send something throughout the whole world. Not just the Caribbean.
Across the region,
world.
yes. Yeah. Have the names of the three.
We honor them and give them the monument up there.
We're here
Every year, they promise to get the monument, but up to now we can't see it under every government.
Yeah, I was part of that meeting. Well, that ceremony where it was promised that next year this time we will have the ceremony within a building identified for them. It has not happened as yet.
And it ain't gonna happen no time soon because all you're hearing every month, Dr. Joe come on radio and promise that the smart new hospital is going to start in a few months. And it's 2 years now he been telling us that.
I passed them down there last week on the site.
Cleaning the land.
Oh, they were cleaning?
Yes.
Well, he didn't have to be there for them to clean the land.
He went there before Parliament.
Okay, so he mentioned in Parliament.
Yes, he mentioned it in Parliament. And not only that, no tender has gone out for that yet, but every month he come on radio and he promised in the next few months.
But here's what. How do you know that? But because tender went out for the smart house, you know.
No tender is out for the smart hospital as yet.
There are things that we can't substantiate, Carl Brown. You should say as far as you know.
Can substantiate this one too.
As far as you know, no tenders has gone out as yet. We don't know that. We can't.
Yet for the smart hospital.
Hear me, Carl Brown. Let me hear you say, as far as I, Carl Brown, knows.
As far as I, Carl Brown, knows, there is no tender out for the smart hospital as yet.
That's enough for the station. We're good to go.
and as far as Carl Brown knows, there is no tender out for the new Bastia High School as yet.
Wow. Okay, as far as you know, Carl Brown, when will the smart houses be completed?
Let me have a laugh on that. I talked about that on a talk show a few weeks ago, and the host went and did some checking at their office, and they said why they. I asked about. I told them we should have do 900 houses and start the other 300 to make 1,200 because we were promised 600 per year.
Within a certain time frame?
Yes. They say 600 per year.
Okay.
And on this time frame that we are on, we should have done 900 already and starting the other 300 to make 1,200.
How many have been completed?
2.
Okay. As far as Carl Brown knows.
Those went out as gifts.
As far as Carl Brown knows, 2 are completed.
Yes. And we were told on that talk show that they are going to start, they have application from bank for 2 go start 50.
Okay. Well, right. I'm very, very happy that you're the man on the ground. So you're Carl Brown on the ground with the ear to what's happening to keep us and the public at home and abroad updated, informed.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for
Me
that.
ain't gonna get no honor for that, eh?
Huh?
Me ain't gonna get no honor for
No,
that.
man, it's just a civic duty. But here's the
Me
question.
ain't gonna get no $10,000 for free advice.
Oh. Oh, well, you see,
Not even a case of Vitamol.
we see some advisors. There was one who was saying, fire them, and he got fired. So you're safe. If they didn't hire you, they can't fire you.
That's right.
If they didn't hire you,
And plus I'm now a retiree.
they can't fire you. Right? But I was talking earlier about looking at hold on. I was talking earlier about renaming some of the streets that named after a former governor. Example, Fines Avenue was named after Governor Fines. And he advocated strongly against educating the black people in St. Kitts.
Well,
If you were to replace, if you were to change that name to a governor, local governor, which one would it be? We have Sebastian, we have Allen, we have Milton.
Cuthbert.
Okay. We have to do these things.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
And you know, for years on these talk shows, you always talk about renaming the streets and
Yes.
so after people who have made significant contribution. One last thing.
Go ahead.
I'm so ashamed and disgrace and hurt. The St. Lucia lady that win the gold medal in the Olympics, you know they give her a national holiday, and that will be down in St. Lucia history every year.
James is September 27th?
Yes, but look at it. Kim Collins win the world championship several years ago and win other titles behind that, and Kim don't have a holiday.
No, what we have? We have a Kim Collins Day.
We have a Kim Collins Day.
We don't?
You have the name. What does happen on that day? It's not even a holiday, not even a half holiday.
I see.
Nothing. They don't even have a little race between some children or some schools and nothing. They don't even show no videos of Kim from his start here in St. Kitts, went on and come world champion and things. I mean, come on, man. This icon and living hero. And nothing is there. Just a little house they give him up there. And that's all? Come on, man. I gone, the king.
And right now we're gonna go to give a little quick to our sponsors. So we go on to our sponsors. And we'll be back shortly.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
What has you so happy? My home internet just got upgraded and I didn't even have to pay for it. What? Which network you have? Flow. Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 300 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Hey kids, drink healthy!
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
At 11:50, the lines remain open on today's presentation of Voices. We're trying to raise the national consciousness as a nation in terms of identifying areas in St. Kitts and Nevis where we can rename it after our local governors and current leaders. But we have a call on the lines which we have to take. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Good morning, Socrates.
Sister Henry, the mic is yours. Welcome back to Voices.
Yes. Let me start by giving God thanks for bringing us thus far.
Most definitely.
Usually by Independence Day, we have hurricane or storm.
That is true.
So God is giving us chance to repent. He says, turn from our wicked ways. We could pray and don't humble ourselves. But if we don't turn, so the turning we need,
I hear you.
Now, you notice some schools don't have any names?
Yes.
Everything
Really?
is politics around. The Keon Primary School, I think, was to be named after Sidney Morris.
We're listening.
The residents of the area want to be named, just you know. Even the CBC, he's the one under whom the CBC was built, you know.
I know. It
I
was
was
thought
supposed
that
to
it would be
put
named after him.
Yes, that should have been named after him.
Change of government. The rest is
Then
history.
they could have put Brian name on Darcy High School if they wanted, you know.
Okay.
Keon School has no name. Neither the high school nor the primary.
I think we have, in terms of tertiary level, we had the naming of the Washington Archibald School, which is a very good thing.
Yeah, and people were in support of that. The Sandy Point one was one set of confusion, you know, you all SP the best be.
Yeah, but I was given a rationale as to why it was named after Mr. Mills.
Yeah, but it was unacceptable.
Yes, that is true. It was controversial.
Well, he was St. Paul's representative, constituency representative.
But he was the one who brought
You know that?
comprehensive education to St. Kitts Nevis.
He what?
He was the one.
Never given credit for it.
Never, because Mr. Bryant was then the Minister of Education. So Charles Mills.
Why not just come into thing, you know?
Right. So
You remember that they took down Mr. France, poor Mr. France, was taken down and they put in Brian. And what, months after the thing was this secondary thing? I mean, you see, sometimes we suffer a lot because of our politics. Because that point could have been made years ago. Because Fitzroy brought, it did not be nothing.
no, it was Mr. Mills.
Yes,
It was Mr. Charles Mills out of St. Paul's, living in St. Kitts, in Sandy Point, who went to London to study.
Yeah,
And he saw that system in place where every child got free education. Back then, you had to be landed gentry
You mean
from that to money.
secondary.
Yeah. And so he brought the system here, took it to Parliament, it was just passed, but because Mr. Bryant was then the Minister of Education, he got the credit for it. And that's why
But
eventually...
people who's supposed to know better walking on and spouting it, oh, God bless.
Bryant?
You know? Nobody didn't say Brian didn't do anything.
Right.
But and politics, because who built the CFBC?
It was on the PAM...
Yeah, Pam Bennett, Peter
NRPA
Jenkins
administration.
built the wall,
Yeah. Which wall?
the fence around it.
Because there was a wall that was taken down and a contract was given to somebody else to build.
I don't know about that part, so leave me out. I can't substantiate that. No, Mr. France lived in St. Johnson Village.
Yes.
He did not live in Hainsmith. What people need to find out who was the first person to live in that village. Russell Village was named after, he didn't have any name for years, you know. It was named after Mr. John Russell, who lived in the village. So everybody called it Russell Village. So in that case, Trafalgar Village can be renamed over too.
Well, yes, I was hoping to get your input, you know.
It was actually called Trafalgar Range, because that was the shooting range for the army, and so that was based at Fort Thomas. It was a real fort, eh?
I know.
With English soldiers and everything there. So that's why you find the older people say they're going on Trafalgar Range. Didn't I used to say it? It was never called Trafalgar Village, it was Trafalgar Range.
I was so hoping to get your input.
Huh?
I was so hoping to get your input.
I have to listen, you know. Some people say, Miss Annie won't keep off the radio. I have no intention of keeping off, eh? It cost me a phone call.
To call in, yes.
And I have a plan. If I don't call Cable and Wireless who don't get dividend, we'll be getting my money for nothing.
I see.
And it is better to share your information.
Rosemary
Oh, I must
always
commend
question when
her,
she
eh?
don't hear from you. Rosemary Donald up in New York always
tell her I say good
question
morning,
when she don't.
darling.
She's listening.
Happy Independence to all the way.
But she
And
from
when you come back, I want to talk about something I discussed with Edinburgh last evening. This student story thing is nothing but apply. Oh, they're going to get dividends and whatever. Where the money going? The money is going back into the government businesses that have not made 1 cent profit. So he said they're going to set up a trust. And so instead of putting it like on the children thing, and then they're going to invest the money in water department. He said water, you know. He said government plan to turn water into a statutory body. So everybody expect to pay more. Electricity, government things, and then the cable company that never make a profit yet. So the bank makes some now and again because I have machines there. So what I'm saying, then they're going to take all of the dividends from these companies who cannot pay dividends, who will not be able to pay dividends, and then they would redistribute it across the children. Now, if that is the case, at what point will the children actually make anything? To me, the better thing is to put the money, invest it is the word, in the companies that are on the stock exchange that are consistently paying dividends.
Mm-hmm.
Because as he himself said, Dr. Joe, if you don't make a profit, you can't get a dividend.
That is correct.
So when you go and put it into these unprofitable enterprises,
like water,
these massive debt that they have, there's no option. So how much
no
they're going to
returns.
get? They have to wait until they're 13 years to get back a $5.
No returns.
All right then.
We do appreciate your input, and would
After lunch.
look forward to hearing you after lunch. We got about 2 minutes before we break for the Win FM's Midday Newscast. So let's see if we can take a next call or just continue the little discussion about naming our streets, renaming these avenues named after former governors. After those, we had like 4 that serving St. Kitts, plus the current one. And we can take a next call. Go to caller. You're live on Voices.
The King Carl here, quickly.
Go ahead, Carl.
I am now ready for Calypso 10. When are we going to get our 10? We're ready now for Calypso because the Carnival Committee said last week there are 53 Calypsonians registered.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready for our Calypso 10. So tell us now before you... Ready for Calypso 10. When are we going to get our 10?
Well,
we're ready now for Calypso because the Carnival Committee said last week there are 53 Calypsonians registered.
We're not hearing you because your radio or whatever device you have is actually clouding out your voice. But in trying to answer your question, Wingrove, we spoke yesterday. He said he responded to the thing by Abenati that he's ready for rehearsals from the 2nd of October. So Calypsonians, get your music ready, get your thing ready, and 2nd of October, according to Wingrove, he's ready for practice. Let's take the last caller. You're live on Voices.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're live on Voices.
And how are you?
I'm okay, but we got just less than a minute, so let's hear you.
Okay, yeah. Quickly, just to correct something that Miss Henry said about Keon Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Keon Primary School had to be named Keon Primary School because there's so many teachers pass through Keon School. Keon and live in Keon, they're born in Keon. So I think if they name one, it's going to be biased. There's a lot of them pass through Keon. Teacher Percy, teacher Rufus, teacher, a lot of them.
Okay.
The Edwards them, teacher Mac, teacher Miss Delaney. It's a lot.
Okay.
So I think it could stay as K-On Primary School because I think if they name one, it's going to be biased. There's a lot of K-On.
If you get a chance to call back after the news, we would love to hear from you, but we're at this point ready.
All right. Okay,
Thank you so much for the call, but we're now ready for the Win FM's midday newscast.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
With the Win FM headline news, I am Yulana Weeks. Locally,
Dr. Joel Clark presents at the United Nations Summit of the Future. Woman Police Constable Danicia Henry wins Independence 41 drill competition.
The details and more straight ahead.
Dr. Joel Clark, Minister responsible for the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Environment and Climate Action, made a presentation on behalf of the Federation at a sitting of the United Nations Summit of the Future on Sunday, September 22, 2024. Clark called for a transformative, lasting and inclusive approach to the climate fight.
The Summit of the Future is our moment to pivot into a sustainable tomorrow, presenting an opportunity to pause and reflect on our collective histories and recalibrate a course towards the shared goals of equity, justice, and self-determination as promised in the UN Charter. This is a space to rebuild trust, as stated by His Excellency the Secretary General. St. Kitts and Nevis commends Namibia and Germany for their leadership and co-facilitation of the Pact for the Future. This pact signals a future that delivers on existing ambition and capitalizes on emerging opportunities, including the rapid implementation of the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index, the mobilization of loss and damage resources, actioning the Antigua and Barbuda agenda for SIDS, and the continued advocacy for the Bridgetown Initiative. Small island states grapple with the polycrises of biodiversity loss, plastic pollution, climate change, and the accompanying challenges of food insecurity and threats to our health and national security. The future we deserve demands deep-rooted change that is transformative and lasting. For this, we must redefine multilateral spaces. We must promote unbiased international partnerships that honor the strength and resilience and the tenacity of small islands, systems that respect and include all of our voices. And we must prioritize the needs of those most vulnerable: women, youth, the elderly, indigenous and rural populations. Let us ground our decision-making now with a critical assessment of the global historical patterns of disempowerment and exploitation, which constituted progress for a few and underdevelopment for many. This new contract has the much-needed potential to reimagine small island capacity. For centuries, our islands fueled the global economy. It is time for all to prosper, regardless of size. We must alchemize our common vulnerabilities into engines of innovation, prosperity, and lasting peace.
Clark advised attendees to the United Nations that St. Kitts and Nevis developed its Sustainable Island State Agenda, which lends to the Global Action Plan, thus inviting all to the Global Sustainable Island Summit being hosted in St. Kitts and Nevis in 2025, where policymakers will gather to drive the mission of climate action and climate justice forward.
To build on this ideal, our government and our Prime Minister presented the Sustainable Island State Agenda, an acceleration of our 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Truthfully, our action is but a drop, but every drop counts towards strengthening and improving multilateral action. In this vein, I invite all island nations to the May 2025 hosting of the Global Sustainable Island Summit being hosted in St. Kitts and Nevis with our partners, Island Innovation. Let us convene to continue driving actions and concretizing commitments for our shared survival. And as we engage in this summit of the future, let us anchor ourselves in its pact and the accompanying digital compact declaration on future generations, being ever mindful of the need to reframe sustainability through the lenses of justice, equity, inclusivity, and peace.
The Independence 41 drill competition was held on Friday, September 20, 2024, in Bastyr, in the vicinity of Rams Supermarket and Courts, St. Kitts. There was representation from the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force Cadet Corps, the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services, His Majesty's Prison, and the St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority. The individuals were placed into 3 mixed groups. Each officer in each group was inspected before engaging in the drill-off. The female with the best turnout was Woman Police Constable Danicia Henry. There was a tie for males with the best turnout, Police Constable O'Shane Richards and Fire Officer David Keynes. The Best Turnout Awards were sponsored and presented by retired Major Leroy Percival. Acting Defense Force Commander Coyote Sutton presented the awards to the top 3 teams of the competition. In first place was the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force Cadet Corps, 4 officers. In second place was the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, 4 officers, followed by His Majesty's Prison in third place, 3 officers. However, the St. Kitts and Nevis Fire and Rescue Services and the St. Christopher Air and Seaports Authority were each represented by 1 officer and did not qualify for the group prize. 13 officers participated in the event, and of them, the top 3 participants were selected. Woman Police Constable Danicia Henry placed first and was presented with a trophy by Dr. Edwin Powell, Special Advisor in the Ministry of National Security. Cadet Huggins, the Independence 40 drill champion, placed second and was presented with a trophy by Special Advisor in the Ministry of National Security, Dr. Lionel Rollins. And in third position was Cadet Clark, who also received the trophy from Dr. Edwin Powell. Another special highlight from the Independence 40 drill competition was a presentation by the Special Service Unit SSU, demonstrating how they operate during riots or violent protests. Meanwhile, the event organizer, the Ministry of Creative Economy, honored 2 individuals with special awards, including Warrant Officer 1 Brian Mills and Captain Nigel Numpy Williams for their service to the country. Williams is the brainchild of the drill competition. Scores of individuals gathered to witness the event, including Governor General Dame Marcella Liburd, Minister of the Creative Economy Samuel Duggins, and Permanent Secretary Valencia Sider.
Regionally,
there is a call from a regional newspaper for CARICOM states to launch the Patsy Richards Initiative, a regional mental health plan named in honor of Prime Minister the Honorable Gaston Brown's late mother. In his emotional eulogy last month, Prime Minister Brown opened up about his mother's struggles with mental illness and the toll it took on their family. An editorial in the Jamaica Gleaner argues this should trigger an overhaul of mental health care in the region. Jamie Roche takes a closer look.
There was never a time that we said to her that we did not love her. We loved her. She was and is our mother.
A moment of reflection on family vulnerabilities is now sparking regional conversations on mental health. In an emotional tribute to his late mother, Patsy Richards, Prime Minister Honorable Gaston Brown laid bare the struggles of growing up with a parent battling mental illness.
I share these experiences of my mother with us today, not to dwell in the past, nor do I lay blame at anyone. And I certainly do so without any bitterness whatsoever. That experience, horrible though it was, occurred at a different time in our own society's understanding, tolerance, and consciousness. In our present-day society, this experience should serve as a means to cultivate a more empathetic and supportive environment for mentally ill persons.
Prime Minister Brown's candid words struck a chord, not just here in Antigua, but across the region. An editorial published Sunday in the Jamaica Gleaner has urged CARICOM to seize the moment and launch the Patsy Richards Initiative, or PRI. The aim, to tackle the pressing mental health crisis in the Caribbean head-on and dismantle the stigma that keeps so many struggling in the shadows. The Gleaner says, Prime Minister Brown's display of humanity and courage is a gift that CARICOM should grasp to confront the stigma surrounding mental illness. The statistics are staggering. According to the World Health Organization, the Caribbean ranks among the regions with the highest prevalence of mental health disorders globally. Yet, funding remains minimal and public awareness even lower. The Jamaica Gleaner says the PRI, if embraced by CARICOM, could be the regional push needed to address these issues with the same vigor used against diabetes and hypertension, diseases once neglected but now prioritized. And with World Mental Health Day on October 10, the timing couldn't be more perfect. A conversation started in Antigua could now echo across the Caribbean. The question is, will Prime Minister Brown's regional colleagues rise to meet the challenge? Jamie J. Roche, ABS News.
Grenada Coral Reef Foundation has reported significant damage to coral reefs in the Gulf area, attributing the destruction to the ongoing impact of climate change. The coral is being severely affected by rising sea temperatures and sediments runoff caused by heavy rains. This alarming situation was highlighted by Ronald Baldio, director of the Grenada Coral Reef Foundation, during an insightful presentation at a recent community meeting in Gove. The event was organized by the National Adaptation Plan (NAP) team within the Ministry of Climate Resilience in collaboration with the G-Cruise project. The consultation was part of a series of community meetings across Grenada and Carriacou aimed at raising awareness about climate change, adaptation and resilience. Balio shared his organization's experiences in Gulf.
Lost a lot of them, all right? This is supposed to be bright yellow and nice, but it's dead, all right? The other impact we have is from sediment runoff after heavy rainfall. We have been having a lot of rain, and this is the nursery here, okay? But we have this river here, and you see what is happening here, all right? They run off from that river, and for some reason we have been getting those currents going up north a little, and this was just last week, all right? And it wasn't heavy rain, and look at the plume, and the nursery is right here, and that would be going up into the nursery.
Monitor these changes globally. Their latest report outlined key vulnerabilities for seeds or small island developing stage requires urgent attention.
What you're seeing here, this is one species of coral, and it's almost went extinct in Grenada. Luckily, we found some, in one location, and we brought it to the nursery, and we have been, growing them out and so on the trees, and we have had very good results. So these are the youths taking care of the corals on the trees, all right? Kind of result, and this is right here in Guelph, all right, where we don't have those corals on the reef around Guelph anymore.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Perron Johnson, also outlined government's ongoing efforts to address these critical issues.
What we seek to do now is to basically engage person that's in terms of revising that plan that will span the period 2015 to 2030. So over the past few months, we have held a series of sectorial workshops, and I indicated to you we had fair participation, but we do not want to stop there. We want to ensure that we get into the communities and that persons are given the chance to make their voices be heard.
Christina John, GBN News.
Internationally,
we begin in the Middle East, where Lebanese media say at least one person has been killed and several others wounded after Israel launched dozens more strikes on the south and east of the country. Israel says it's continuing to target Hezbollah sites and called on Lebanese civilians to move away from the militant group's locations. In a statement, the IDF showed videos and animations of what it said were hidden missile sites in Lebanon, buildings with projectiles stored inside, which the spokesperson said could be opened up to allow for launch. In this particular case, the Israeli military also showed a video of a building being destroyed. There have been days of escalating cross-border strikes between Israel and the Iranian-backed militia after last week's pager and walkie-talkie attacks, which killed dozens and injured thousands in Lebanon. President Biden said he was pushing hard to prevent a wider war, while the head of the UN has warned that Lebanon could become another Gaza. Well, here's the latest on the strikes from our correspondents in Jerusalem and Beirut. I spoke to Yolande Nell and Hugo Bashega earlier.
It seems that these are extensive airstrikes being carried out by the Israeli military targeting Hezbollah positions across the country. The Israeli military has warned residents to stay away from positions being used by Hezbollah, also places where Hezbollah is believed to be hiding a weapon. So this is another sign of the intensification of this Israeli campaign against Hezbollah. And I think we're seeing here a very dangerous new phase in this conflict, because Hezbollah remains defiant. Yesterday we heard from the number 2 of the group, Naim Qassem, who gave a speech at the funeral here in Beirut of one of the senior commanders who was killed in that Israeli airstrike on Friday. And he said that Hezbollah was going to continue to attack Israel, that these attacks are going to continue until there is a ceasefire in Gaza, and that these Israeli attacks are not going to stop the group. So again, Hezbollah promising to respond, Hezbollah remaining defiant, and the Israelis are saying that this is just the beginning, that they want to change the situation along the border. And the speculation has been that this could be the beginning of a wider offensive that could even include a ground invasion of southern Lebanon to create a so-called buffer zone along the border to push Hezbollah fighters away from the border and to allow the return of tens of thousands of residents who've been displaced from communities in northern Israel because of this conflict. So growing fears of an escalation here in this conflict, and obviously the possibility of a wider war, because yesterday we saw that not only rockets were fired from Hezbollah, but also missiles were fired from an Iranian-backed militia in Iraq, which could be an indication that if there is a wider conflict, it wouldn't be limited to Lebanon and Israel.
And there have been calls from international leaders, including President Biden, for de-escalation. But from what it sounds like, from what you're hearing, that isn't the way it's heading, is it?
Exactly. I think the signs coming from both Israel and Hezbollah is that they're not interested in backing down. Again, Hezbollah is a resistance movement. One of its main reasons for existence is to fight Israel. And the Israelis are saying that the situation along the border is unsustainable and that no country would accept being on the receiving end of rockets almost every day, and that they want to change the situation to allow the return of those residents who've been displaced by this conflict. So again, I think the indications here are that both sides are getting ready for a major war.
Hugo Bechega, thank you very much indeed.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz appears to have fended off a far-right victory in his home state on Sunday. Early exit polls showed Scholz's Social Democrats, SDP, scored almost 31% of the vote in the Brandenburg state election over Alternative for Germany, AfD, closer to 29%. The SDP has governed Brandenburg, the state that surrounds the capital Berlin, since German reunification in 1990. Leadership and poor communication skills. Brandenburg's popular Premier Woidke had distanced himself from Scholz during the campaign. On Sunday, Woidke said despite the victory, the exit polls being so close was alarming.
The debate after this election campaign. Brandenburg only has a chance if Brandenburg remains a liberal-minded and tolerant state.
While Scholz declared the outcome a significant success for his party, they are staying nationally, polling at just 15% behind the AfD's 20% and the opposition Conservatives at 32%. The election did see an increased voter turnout at 73%, up from 61% in the previous election. It has gained traction on anxiety over a cost of living crisis in Europe's largest economy, immigration, and a possible escalation of the war in Ukraine.
That was the Win FM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, and Cariboury.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Hello, ladies. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
And we're back with the second half of today's presentation of Voices. It's been an interesting morning, and we had the last caller who mentioned Teacher Percy. We're gonna get back to that. Let's pause firstly to give credit to our sponsors. Let's come back and talk about Teacher Percy. Okay, see you on the other side.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Independence 41 specials for September 19th through October 2nd. Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. IGA or Essential Everyday Microwave Popcorn, $7.99. Essential Everyday Cranberry Juice Cocktails, $8.99. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts are just $12.99. Breyers Ice Cream, $22.99. Culinary Circle Pizza, $29.99. Essential Everyday Fries, $15.79. And now our very low weekly value deals. IGA or Essential Everyday Salad Dressings, $10.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $9.99. Essential Everyday Applesauce Bowls, $11.99. Essential Everyday Oats, regular and old-fashioned, $14.99. Arm & Hammer toothpaste, $14.99. Arm & Hammer deodorant, just $8.99. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
It's 12:28. Welcome back once again to our viewers and listeners to the second half of today's presentation of Voices. The last two callers to the program today raised some very interesting points. We have Sister Sylvian Henry, who promises to call back and share with us part of a discussion she had with Miss Edinburgh. And one of the things she spoke about during that conversation was the naming of the school in Keon. She says it should be named after someone in particular. And a teacher called and says it will be very difficult because there have been so many teachers who contributed to the school. It will be hard to name it after any one person. And she started to speak about Teacher Percy. Let's see if the caller is back as we take this first call. Go to caller, you're live on Voices. Go to caller, you're live on Voices. We may have lost you.
Good afternoon, King.
Yes, Mr. Africa, welcome to the program. You're live on Voices.
How are you today, sir?
All is well. It's been a wonderful morning. We come to blessings as we,
Yes, we have to.
Mm-hmm.
As always. Can I have permission to speak?
Most definitely.
And can I ask you what the teacher Percy said?
Well, the thing is, once she says Teacher Percy, what came to mind was Lord Nelson's song? Teacher Percy say, if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die. So Jamson and I were just cracking up with the whole thing.
There was some Calypsonian in town a week or so ago, and
That is correct.
one of them was a teacher person, man, Calypsonian.
Lord Nelson, he actually rendered the song during the performance.
How appropriate.
So is this the first time I hear you sing? Do we have a teacher, Percy?
I listened to the contribution of some of the earlier callers, and you did say, though, that someone made an apology. Did you allude it to some apology that was made?
I was referencing an article that spoke about the Attorney General making an apology about the commentary he made in Parliament.
Yeah, okay. Well, if such was made in Parliament, and Parliament is an august body where the citizens look forward to hearing from their respective representatives.
Quite
as
so.
to the volumes, as to the debate, as to what would be unfold, as to what new legislation would be in place, and so forth. So I think that apology should be on the merit of like a public apology, and that will suffice to appease the public. And that's all I will say for now on that issue. But I'm listening to the debate on both sides, and me as someone who call in, I think before I talk, and so most of the time, 99% of the time, I make a contribution. It has weight. You know, they say it has weight. So they say some speech that cannot be condemned, so to speak.
Fair enough.
From when Titus, the little book of Titus, they say some speech that cannot be condemned. So I borderline on thinking before I say what I have to say, so that it will stand up to the test of time.
Okay.
And that's the way. But in solidarity to the wide spectrum, not just as an individual, that as an individual matter, like what has unfolded, but in general across the media spectrum, as they say, the media is the third estate. I just want to show solidarity with those who would feel like their voices might be stifled if ones and one have their way. And the Attorney General's tone of voice has to be careful, because if he has not learned his lesson from the initial stage in the administration when the Nannygate scandal was just about to be unfolded, and what he tried and so, and the matter came against him, he should have learned how to curtail his tone of voice when he's talking to the people.
Mm-hmm.
The people, especially the young people, they're not going to be standing for no foolishness from nobody. Not from the older folks, and definitely not from a young folk like themselves, which the Attorney General happened to be in that category.
Okay.
So he has to be more respectful, and don't think that he's talking to any animals around here. We are intelligent people around here. And yes, whatever he might have merit on, bring forth the merit with your learning. Whatsoever your jurisprudence experiences and what you went to train for, bring it to the fore with learning and taste, and not with disdain. Because of, yes, there might be laws that can be enacted to curtail certain things that might go overboard, per se. But, then again, they say when you sleep with dogs, you get fleas. I'm from a volatile community, just like any other community that had their challenges.
How does that last statement you made apply to the AG? About sleeping in dog and getting fleas. How does it apply to, given the context with that as it relates to him?
It doesn't apply to no individual. It's just my way of putting things out there. Who the cap fit, let them wear it. It's not applied to no AG. It's just in a general.
No, you're speaking about him. You're speaking about
just
him.
An old proverbs that I say. I speak in a lot in proverbs, you know. So sometimes I put out a proverb up there for anyone to, whatever what description it fits, not be down to any individual. I just put it out there. You read my content all the time. I put a lot of things out there, the king.
Well, because I wasn't sure about how it related to him, that's why I asked you.
No. It doesn't apply to no individual. It just, they're all proverbs. They come up from time to time, and I put them out there. Okay? So that's just my contribution to them.
Much appreciated. I'll just stand by to hear from Sister Henry or any other caller who have a contribution to make to this discourse. So anyway, we're having a quite a light moment with Teacher Percy. It's the first time where we had a Teacher Percy in St. Kitts. And I would have thought that those kids would have fun with him. Teacher Percy say, and we go back to the phone lines. Good day, caller, you're live on Voices.
Good day, Socrates.
How art thou? How was your weekend?
I'm blessed in Jesus' name, and thank Jesus Christ for giving me a most blessed and wonderful weekend.
Amen to that.
Excuse me. So, yes, man, so greetings in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners. He's elect his chosen sinners from their sins and from hell. He saved them from with his blood, and he who is the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, excuse me. I had to clear my throat. Sorry about that.
I hear you.
Just
No problem.
Something. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Socrates.
So.
No, I read something that is said to be the Governor General apology. And you just
Governor General apology? What did she have to apologize
Sorry,
for?
not the Governor General, the Attorney General.
Okay.
Sorry about that. The Attorney General, the AG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read something that he said that was his apology. I read it on actually Everton Obi Powell Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And from what I read of the apology, excuse me, from what I read of the apology, the so-called apology, put it this way, so-called apology, what I gather from it is that he apologized for how people took what he said. I ain't seen no way in it where he apologized for what he said or how he said what he said. Maybe somebody could correct me and read me those lines. But from what I have read concerning the quote-unquote apology,
mm-hmm.
the apology was only related to how people took what he said.
People's reaction?
Right.
To the how and not the what.
How he said it. Hello?
It was about the how and not the what.
Well, no, it was not about the how and it was not about the what. It was about how people reacted. It was not about how he said it, and it was not about what he said. It was about how people took it.
So did the people react to how he said it or what he said? Because you said
right.
that he apologized for the how. Uh-huh.
No, yeah, that is what he apologized for people's reaction towards what he said.
Well, yes, about the how.
Yeah, but he did not apologize for how he said it.
I think he apologized for how he said it, but not what he said.
Well, read me that line in the apology because me ain't see that line where he apologized for how he said it.
We're surmising the apology. You're saying it was about the reaction to how he said it, not what he said. So he apologized for how he said it.
And not how he said it.
Huh?
Not what he said and not how he said it, but it was an apology on how the people reacted.
Okay. Okay.
You see, there's a difference. There's a nuance there. There's what I call a nuance. A subtle difference.
Mm-hmm.
That if you ain't really careful, you will not pick it up. You would think that he apologized for how he said what he said. No. He apologized for how the people reacted to what he said.
I see.
There's a subtle difference, a nuance.
Do you have a copy of it so you can read it for us?
No, like I said, I read it on
Obi's
Everton,
page.
Obi page, right.
All right.
But there's another issue that he brought up. Obi, there's another issue that he brought up. And I think I'm going to be very careful how I word it.
Obi did it or the AG?
Well, you're talking about the second thing that I'm speaking of.
You said there was another issue that he brought up. Who is the he? Was it
On the
Obi
page book.
or
Obi-
the AG?
Obi brought
Obi's
up on
page.
his page book.
Okay.
Yeah. He alleged that the reason why students have not gotten back their certain sexy results is because the government failed to pay certain fees.
Mm-hmm.
He said it is, well, he didn't use the word alleged, but I'm wording carefully how he said it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I think the government should clear that up because it is out there in the public.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the government should clear that up and give the reason why the students have not got back certain sexy results.
Okay.
You know? Another thing, lastly, I would like to say, coming back to the age, again. You see, a lot of stuff fly under the radar. But because I know of certain things that are going on, it ain't fly under the radar for me. The AG in the quote-unquote apology spoke against people lying, spreading false information, bullying people, harassing people, that sort of stuff. Now, in today's world, those are very loaded words, very loaded terms. A lot of people don't know. Question is, in today's world, what does he mean by harassing? What does he mean by bullying people? What does he mean by spreading false information on people? In today's world, those words are very loaded because right now, harassing people, bullying people, spreading false information on people and that sort of stuff covers such thing as speaking out against homosexuality,
Really?
There are countries right now like the UK and so, where people post things and say things, and they got arrested, fined, and that sort of stuff because they criticize homosexuality and that sort of stuff, and that is termed as spreading misinformation.
Okay, but it comes out of the context. It comes down to the relative context.
And what's the relative context?
Okay, you spoke about word like harassment and bullying. So, by themselves, you cannot be charged for any offense. It comes down to the relevant context in which it is used, and if it is used as a target at a particular individual or a group.
Right. So how am I to be comforted that it is not setting the stage that if I say homosexuality is a sin, is an evilness and wickedness, that it doesn't mean that?
That's not bullying people. That's making a state. That's stating your opinion.
Today's world, people are getting arrested, and so because.
But that's stating your opinion. You're not threatening anyone.
Repeat.
That's stating your opinion.
In today's world, people are getting locked up and fined for that.
Okay.
In England, for example, that we take a lot of precedents from. In England, just recently, a teacher got arrested for not calling people by their preferred pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means?
Of course I do.
Well, a lot of people do not know what that means. If a boy comes to you and says,
identify
you to refer to him as a her or as a she, and you decide, hey, no, you is a he. He complain you and you get locked up, and that's why a teacher got locked up just recently in England for. Because it was bullying.
And that's madness. But it happens.
Yeah. So I'm asking these questions now because in today's world, these words have become very loaded.
Yeah, but in the context of the conversation with the AG, right? We need not stretch it that far. We understood the context.
I'm not assuming anything.
Yes, I understand
Because
that.
we take a lot
But
of,
let's not stretch that
hold
too
on,
far.
we take a lot of precedents from the UK, and not only that, when these prime ministers and so go and sign loans and so, they have to sign to certain conditions.
Some conventions, yes. We
Right.
accept that.
So I am not taking anything for chance.
Okay. You're making sense. I appreciate that.
Anyhow, Socrates, thank you for your time. May God bless you. May God bless you. Listeners, I'd like to remind anybody, you die without Jesus Christ, you're going to end up in hell forever and ever. Only the blood of Jesus Christ could save us from our sins and from hell to be with Jesus in his eternal kingdom, most blessed kingdom. Thank you very much.
Amen to that. Much appreciated. We're climbing up to 1 o'clock. We're standing by for the call from Sister Henry to share with us her outtake from the conversation with Mr. Edinburgh. And your call is there. If not, we continue our discussion. But he made a valid point. One has to be careful with what you say about certain blocks, society, individual, because it can be taken out of context from what you intended, put into a framework where you're seen as bullying them, identifying them for ridicule, and you're facing lawsuits. We live in a crazy, crazy world today, right? My take on the whole thing with age, because I saw the clip as many person, and I believe he spoke about being impassioned. He didn't use the word overreacting, but that's the general tone of the apology that he would have made. There are those who think that it was not quite adequate. He didn't cover the thing. But anyway, back to the phone lines. Go to caller. You're live on Voices.
Oh, good afternoon. I'm back.
I've been waiting. Thanks that you made it back. Let's hear what you have to say about you and Edinburgh's little tit for tat the other night.
Yes, you could. I saw you could get it on Freedom.
Okay.
It's called Conversation with. It's quite very interesting. You know, you learn some stuff and you get some revelation. Now, I was questioning this children program.
The claim by the PM?
Yes, I know. It's the best in the Caribbean and nowhere else.
Let's hear you. Go
now,
ahead.
how it is presented, it sounds good. But when I asked the question, how are they going to invest it? I was surprised when he said that the money is going to put in a trust fund. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that the parents also have no choice as to where they want the child money invest. Now, that might sound good if we had an investment climate where people or companies like to pay
dividends.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
I'm with
if
you.
you look on the stock exchange, you see sometimes very little trading is going on. And, of course, they're common shares. You get or you may not get. And then you have the one promoted by the Labour Party, which I can't get over because I bought 1,000 shares at $5 each.
Okay.
Still waiting to collect 500. So I said, well, y'all can't be trusted. You're pushing people into things where you know that they're not financially sound. That is my problem, eh?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it began, eh?
I'm hearing you. Yes.
Yeah, they said that they say 100 and something million. Well, we don't know how much cable owe, but it has never made a profit because of the government ownership in it.
Yep.
You know, government must be there.
Own the majority
cable,
shares.
You know,
Yep.
not paying for the services and stuff like that. So I said, well, that don't make sense. When will the children ever be able to get dividends? Or what, they're going to get 1 cent? If you're going to do it that way, it is better to choose companies that are financially
solvent.
You know, yes, well, they could be solvent but not giving anything. Because I've never heard Cable and Wells to declare bankruptcy. Only that they have people money. We can't even get a double bubble. You know, how they're going to use the water. I said, do you know that the water department is not a statutory body? Well, the government has plans to do it, so.
Okay. So, like, you build a house and make the plan after?
It is, to me, just one way. This whole scheme is just another way to transfer money from the consolidated fund to the government entities. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Now, to the lady with the school.
Yes.
The primary school was built, I think, in 1940. I think I saw it somewhere at the archives. He said it can cause controversy. Well, all the other school name, you understand? If you have the name, then throw them in the bag and pull out some then.
Well, there are two names, Tucker Clark. They're two different persons.
Yeah.
Right? Name the school.
And Irish Town, they could have named it after now the people who got it, they did work for it. But there are people who did even more. You know Rosabelle Warner?
Of course.
She transformed Irish Young School from just an old thing into a modern school. She like Mr. Mills. She went to England to do some
studies.
School administration. I went there to work when I graduated from the Teachers College in 1973. I was shocked having taught in Trinity in the large old school, you know, and later taught in girls' school. She brought back catalogs and she sent it around and she said, choose what you want. I had never seen Lego blocks in a government school before. Lego blocks, the plastic that they play with.
I know what you mean, yes.
I mean, look, crayons, the whole works, you would think in another country. And even in the larger classes, each teacher was given the opportunity to choose what they want. She organized a lot of different programs. She had to revitalize and to remove some of the stigma from Irish Young School when they said that they're done and they wouldn't read. She introduced so many different things. When they had the carnival, you understand? So no matter who you choose, somebody will have something to say. But it does not make all... I may leave it so. If you don't leave it so, you got to leave fines up in yourself.
We got to be progressive.
Yes. And like the Irish Young School, Mr. James Sutton, he was the first teacher for Irish Young School. Because after they built the village school, the Methodists built the chapel, and then they also built the house above. The government instructed all the children from Irish Town and village must go to village school. So they took them out of the boys' school and out of the girls' school, which were always overcrowded, and sent them to the village, St. Johnson Village School. In time, you can imagine the overcrowding.
Yep.
They started the Irish Town School in 1951. The village started in 1940. He was the first principal.
Sutton. All right.
You know? And so you could name it after him too. Carmen Christopher worked down there 25 years. So you can't call everybody. In Cayon, the older people might know who was there a long time, you know, who was the longest. Because Tucker was from the old days. The Cayon High School. You could even have the thing where the community come together and as I said,
discuss it.
You make things, you throw them in a bag to avoid bias, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you let maybe one of the students pull the names. Now, before I go, I heard Miss Clark. You know, I am impressed with her knowledge, you know. She will make a good replacement for Dr. Douglas.
Which one o'clock? Oh, okay. I thought
yes,
you meant...
in the parliament in terms of climate change or whatever.
As you wasn't speaking about school, I thought you made Miss Clark from Boardwalk.
No, we all taught together at Trinity School.
Mm-hmm. So is that the one...
You know me, right, Senator Clark?
Yes, I know who that's you're referring to.
She has a wide knowledge of her subject. The only thing about her is that she has got to learn to calm down the behavior. She cannot go in there and emulate bad behavior. She's a young woman. You know, it's kind of rah-rah, Timothy used to say. And for Marcella, well, I would have chosen Constance Mitchell because she had to revolutionize the life of females with all the gender policies.
I know that.
But if you want Marcella, she can be our first president. You understand?
We're talking about the national hero. Is that what you're talking about now?
Yeah, if she's the first president, she could be. All they have to do is take us into that, where we have, instead of having a governor general, we have a president.
But sadly, though, too many persons don't know about the contribution of Constance Mitchell.
Well, they should know, because all who got Social Security, it used to be 1 month, you know, because I had my children during the year. 1 month in which you were to get the child and go back to work. Which meant sometimes you went back to work 2 or 3 weeks after you had the baby.
They introduced 3 months paid leave.
13 weeks.
Okay.
She said.
Paid leave.
A lot of the thing, because I was on the interministerial council.
Unheard of.
Yeah, even now in some Caribbean, in America and all. You know, talking about gender issues, women's role and progress. This thing about violence against women, all of those were done under Constance Mitchell.
That is correct.
But
And the training. And the training that was introduced for non-traditional skills for women.
Women now enjoy.
Yeah.
Women in the civil service, promotion, education. Now, Anne Leiber did a lot to her, but she was not a policy maker. So you got to give her some credit to her. Yes, she did a lot of training and whatnot. But in terms of policy making, women going beyond just assistants, women in management position, all of those are pushed under her, you know.
Well, I'm glad that Calborn brought it up because being from Sandy Point, for me to bring it up, they can figure there's a certain bias. But I know much about her contribution. As a matter of fact, I have a CV on my phone because I was trying to get the police station, courthouse, and fire station down there in Sandy Point named after her as the first female magistrate from Sandy Point.
She from 2 and 4 challenges we have.
No.
By the way, this thing about Governor Fines. Governor Fines did not. Governor said, I read right and we take. He was against secondary education.
That is correct.
So he was not against education. He was about going beyond the minimum.
To keep you as a shop steward at that certain level, not to educate you beyond that point.
Right. And by the way, this man,
Malone?
Reverend Father Walker.
Yes.
He wrote a book. When I did my research at the public library, it's contrary to what he said, you know.
What is contrary?
That's another time.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for calling back twice in one day, and thank you for your contribution. It's always not the same when we don't hear from you. All right? So that was Sister Stephen Henry. We have this call? Okay. I think we do a station break at this point in time, so let's give credit to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Get ready to relax in style with Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley's Furniture Home Store. Easy living, easy saving sales event. For the entire month of September, we're bringing you unbeatable deals that will transform your home. Save 25% off on living room sets store-wide. For cozy couches to elegant sectionals, we have everything you need to create your dream living room. Shop with us and enjoy double cashback coupons for free groceries with all higher purchases. Every higher purchase enters you for a chance to win free groceries for a whole year. You can also win a stunning 4-piece living room set. That's right. Don't miss out on the Easy Living, Easy Saving sales event at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley's Furniture Home Store all month long. Hosford's, making your house a home.
The South 98.9. Win FM.
Double the cash back. Double the groceries. Double the savings. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Happening now, when you make a higher purchase, you'll get double cash back coupons for double the free groceries. Are you serious? Shop for the furniture and appliances you need, and we'll help you fill your fridge and kitchen too.
Nah, me.
But that's not all. You'll also have a chance to win free groceries for a year or a 4-piece living room set that will transform your space into a cozy haven.
Say what?
Don't miss out on double the rewards and double the savings. Visit Hortford's Furniture and Appliances or Ashley Furniture Home Store today and start your journey to a better home and a fuller kitchen. Terms and conditions apply. Visit any Hortford's location for details. Double the deals, double the delight, double the cash back, double the groceries, double the savings. Only at Hortford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Stores, happening now.
Welcome back to our viewers and our listeners. By the way, Eustace, I took your advice. I got in touch with Mr. Dennis Warner. We had quite a lengthy and interesting conversation. He was able to contribute to the idea that I'm trying to develop. So thank you for that suggestion. And I'm glad to know that you're out there. You're logged on to what's happening in the Federation. There we go. We're back. So we heard from Calbourne. We heard from Gregory. We heard from Africa. Sister Henry, the lady from Keon, recalled about the teachers. Yes, that's what we learn about Teacher Percy. But the topic still is on the governors in St. Kitts, those who serve locally, well, being local governors. Sir Milton Fentonville Allen, some great names. And he was from 1969 to 1975. Then we had Governor Innes. From 1975 to 1983, replaced by Governor Arundel. I was actually at a dinner in Antigua with some, socialites when a lawyer asked me, why did Dr. Simmons fire Governor Innes? I had no idea what he was talking about. But we learned later on that it was over a certain technicality as they were trying to go into independence, and we were still St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla. We were going in as St. Kitts and Nevis. Anguilla would have removed himself from that union through whatever means we're staying with with England. They didn't want to be part of that construct. So, but Governor Innes, being a lawyer, was concerned about whatever it was, the technicality or the wording and how it would appear on the document, and he refused to sign the relevant documents so that we were going to independence. And so he was removed by Dr. Simmons, and Governor Arundel was put in place. So he became the first Governor General of this independent nation. He served until, He served until 1995, when the government changed. The Simmons NRP administration left office, and then Governor Arundel was replaced by Governor Cuthbert Sebastian, Sir Cuthbert, medical doctor, who served until 2013. From 1996 until 2013, right? And he was replaced by who? Who replaced Dr. Sebastian? I threw the question of the jamster to let me know which governor replaced Dr. Sebastian, and his face is like he don't remember who. So let's see. Put it out to the public. Who was the governor who replaced Dr. Sebastian? So from 1996 until 2013. we take a phone call while Jamson do some Googling. Good to call 11 Voices.
The King.
Yes.
Carl Brown here again.
Yes, Carl Brown.
Naming of streets.
Mm-hmm.
We could name one of the streets, them Sir Arundel.
Mm-hmm. So Clement Arundel.
Our long-time governor.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't, we had the other one there. Was the lawyer there on Cairn Street, Sir Provin Innes.
Sir Provin Innes, yes.
Yes. And we have Tapley Seat and we have Cuthbert Sebastian's. Those are all late.
You just gave Jamson the name. He's trying to Google the name that replaced, the governor who replaced Sir Cuthbert Sebastian. It was Sir Tapley Seaton.
All those are late. Has gone on to the great beyond.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and King, another topic and an observation I have been looking at.
Yes, sir.
You realize that our main cemetery in Bastia, that defense is disappearing like a ghost?
Is a cemetery, ghost disappearing? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the fence is disappearing and the fence ain't no ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many of y'all remember under Douglas-led Labour Party government, the Honorable Sam Condor was the representative for number 3.
That constituency, yes.
And they had a big function, and the fundraising of that function was to fence the cemetery. That was many years ago. Up to now, we don't know where is that money, and we never see one post sticking the cemetery fence.
They probably didn't raise enough.
They raised enough. They raised a few $1,000s well.
Which section of the cemetery are you referring to? The northern end of it?
Look at the front. Look at the front by the main road, and look at up there when you come out the hospital. When you come across that road, going up there where they bury Mr. Nathaniel France.
The northern end of it, yeah.
Yes. Go look at it. Y'all could take an observation when y'all get there and see how fast the fence in those areas are disappearing like ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right.
Are gone.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We have a problem here, Jamster. We did not mention Sir Edmund Lawrence, and somebody just pulled me up in it. So, what period did he serve? Was it before Sir Tapley Seaton? After he was before Sir Tapley Seaton. So he would have replaced Sebastian. So thank you, sir, for reminding me. And we go to the phone lines. We go to caller 11 Voices.
Yes, I'm calling in to say something else.
Yes.
No, if we want the worst, okay, let me rephrase.
If you want the what?
Government. No, I'm rephrasing.
Yeah.
Rewarding what I was going to say. When government runs and controls and directs hospitals, schools, roads, and you name it, you're going to always end up with the worst form of those things and the worst services.
Management-wise?
Management-wise, and in every other area as well. Product-wise, service-wise, you name it. That is what happens when you have government controlling, owning, running, directing, orchestrating, and so on things like such that I've named. When you want the best that you can have,
you privatize.
Those things are concerned. You have to privatize them in a free market, capitalist context. And at least the continual decreasing and cutting of taxes to make them cheap, continually, and affordable for everyone.
You mean the service, to make the service cheap?
When you do those things, it make the services, the products, and everything cheaper continually.
More affordable. Is that what you're trying to say?
Affordable.
Okay.
Yeah, more affordable. But the reason why they become more affordable is because they're becoming cheaper and cheaper.
cheap has a certain connotation. It means it's a substandard product. If the service is more affordable or, say, cheaper service, you get what you pay for, more affordable.
Okay, more affordable, less costly.
Okay, less costly. Well, cheap has a certain ring to it. You know, but I know what you mean.
I won't argue that. I see where you're coming from.
Less costly, more affordable.
I was talking cheap in the sense of prices only, not in quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
So you if you want the best in those things, this is the direction you have to go in. Now, one of the reasons why the cost of living is so high in St. Kitts and life is so hard in St. Kitts and jobs are so hard to get in St. Kitts and that sort of stuff is because government is running and controlling and owning a ton load of stuff. And it carries up the national debt, and as a result, it wrecks the economy, make life harder.
I want to cut in here with a point.
More expensive.
I want to cut in here with a point because when you privatize and there are no regulations, there creates a monster. There is a food chain here in St. Kitts that I shop at. And just about every time I go there, the cost of food items keep increasing. It seems as if with every container they import, monthly or whatever, every time you go, there's a knock-on. If government was in charge of that, and they have price control officers who would monitor on a regular basis, cost of living should be government like that. In the U.S., there's price gouging. People use the market and issues, whatever effects, and they create price gouging. We see it here in St. Kitts on a daily basis when it should not be. I shouldn't pay $5 this week for a packet of oat meat, and this week is $6.50. Where are the regulations? So the time government has its role to play, but if you privatize that industry and leave it to these importers, they're going to kill us. That was my...
Actually, what you're describing is really the cause of government. It's really government is causing it, not privatization.
It's
government that's really causing it. You know why? It is government protectionism that is really causing it. When you privatize things in a free market, capitalist way, with the continually slashing of taxes.
Well, who would have the regulatory body? Where's the regulatory body?
The market, the free market, the capitalist free market is self-regulating.
See?
But government intervention in the market shortcuts that self-regulation of the free market capitalist market.
Self-regulation.
And that's the problem. For example, I've mentioned
so
before.
Who will introduce the penalties for infringements? They should be allowed to police themselves?
No, okay, let me say this. If it is done the way I'm speaking of, which is the Bible way of doing things, by the way, it is the Bible way of doing things, what would happen is that you would have increased competition. No, what I am saying, increased competition carries down the cost.
Some things look good on paper, Gregory.
More affordable.
Some things looks good on paper. But in practicality, because you deal with a human being, you'll have infringement. There must be a regulatory body that monitors and have these entities open for penalties. If not, this free market you're talking about will kill the consumer.
No. The free market is the best friend for consumer. And I can tell you why. What is killing the consumer is the government protectionism, especially of agents, which I've told you in the past. For example, what is killing competition in St. Kitts is the fact that governments are saying that if X is the agent of something, nobody else could bring it in to sell it. Because if the person take you to court, we are going to make sure we stop you from bringing in whatever, because X is the agent of whatever, and you cannot bring it in to sell it. Only the agent can bring it in to sell it. That He's a big killer of competition here in St. Kitts. And that protectionism provided by the government to the agents is what is a very big part of what is making things so expensive in St. Kitts, because the agents are carrying up the prices and nobody else could bring in whatever to compete with the agents.
I intend to agree with you.
And that is against free market capitalist principles.
I will agree with you on that point, because I saw it happen when we used to import what we call the internet cars.
Right.
Right? But the car dealerships were saying they were paying a certain amount of taxes for their license. And everybody, the common man, willy-nilly used to just bring in cars from St. Martin, from Miami, whatever. And what they did, they slapped a $5,000 tariff on it. Called it environmental levy.
Environmental fee, they call it.
Environmental, yeah, right. Right, for any car, any vehicle over 5 years. Yes. But the major dealerships had a problem with that. And they appealed to government, they helped to lobby, they helped to vote them in. And government clapped down on quote-unquote internet cars. So, yes, I'll agree with that. But it can't be the same across the board.
That went against the principles of free market capitalism. Competition make the market self-regulatory. When government, a lot of people don't realize, but when government, say that we're going to use price control, what you're going to always end up with is black markets, shortages of goods and services, and so on. That is what government price control does. But when you have government staying clear out the market, not protecting anybody from competition, but let people bring in whatever and sell whatever, no matter who want to be the agent, let everybody bring in whatever and sell whatever they feel like, that will cause a lot of competition in the place, and as a result, bring down the prices a lot. I am sure that, for example, what you go right now to buy for $500 in the supermarket, if that was done, maybe $250 could buy the same things that $500 is buying today.
Young fella,
that would be a big help to the poor man.
I went to shop on the weekends, and there were two items I normally buy. And when I saw there was at least $2 tapped on, I walked straight out. I walk out. This is nonsense. Where is price control? Where is the regulatory bodies to monitor these things?
But price control. But like I said, price control is going to cause shortages and black markets. What you want is competition. Finish away with all the government protectionism, including the protectionism of agents.
What you're saying looks good on paper, but the practical application is not as clear as you're making out to be. It's not so easy.
Well, everywhere around the world, including St. Kitts and Nevis, but everywhere around the world, where government take off regulations from the economy and back out of the intervention in the economy, more competition always pop up, and as a result,
healthcare,
things always get cheaper.
Healthcare, government should privatize that.
Yes.
Okay.
Because these are the biblical way to go. Okay, imagine.
Food imports.
Imagine, for example, every parish or constituency have their own hospitals, clinics, health centers, that sort of stuff that are privately owned. And government does not intervene to say, well then, hey, you can't do this because this clinic is doing that, so you can't do that. Imagine government is not doing those things, but let everybody competing against each other. Number one, we would have a lot more health clinics, we would have a lot more hospitals, more competition, and you get far better service than what we're getting now. Things that we ain't have here, things that are just in our imagination. The private institutions would have them, would bring them in, especially if you're lowering taxes on top of that. So what we are doing, we are actually destroying and ruining ourselves because we are rejecting and disobeying what the Bible says.
So,
therefore we are not doing things.
what
with
would
market
the
capitalism.
regulatory framework would it look like?
Hello?
What would the regulatory framework look like in the society that you're describing?
The free market, because of competition, would be very self-regulated. Because in order for you to be successful, you have to have a good name. You can't be engaging in fraud, because people would have many more alternatives, and you will quickly go out of business. That's how a true free market capitalist economy works. Because there are many other alternatives, so you cannot be defrauding people.
Is that what's been reflected on 4th Street right now?
Well, we don't have that economy here.
Because I'm seeing a replacement.
It's not really reflected in saying it's as
I am seeing a replacement of the local entrepreneurs who used to be in 4th Street, etc. Right? Because you have this open market that you describe, they're being replaced.
We don't have it.
They're being replaced.
Yeah, but we don't have a free market capitalist open system here. We don't have it. We have too much government intervention in market, and taxes are too high. Another thing that's killing out business here is the high taxes. It's killing out competition. Not only government protectionism of agents killing out competition, but also the high taxes as well, and the red tapes and so on is killing our competition.
So how would government collect revenues?
Well, number one, what I'm saying is that because of the load of government regulations and that sort of stuff that have given government a load of power, it provides a lot of opportunity to corrupt government ministers. But not only that,
we're talking about
your question you asked, how government would get revenue. Well, with a very limited government, if we do things according to the Bible, and we have a very limited government would not need a ton load of money to operate, because government would only be in control of such
social services, like say the roads.
Hello?
Social services, like say our roads, etc. That should be privatized also?
That's the Bible way to go. That is the Bible way to go. And let me tell you, in other places where roads are privatized and they are used heavily, commercially speaking, they're used heavily. Those roads are far better than government roads. Far better when you compare them to government roads. And not only that, they give you services. For example, I remember seeing a documentary where a person's vehicle got broken down on a private road. And they sent all kind of stuff to give the person gas and all sort of stuff as the customer.
They were trying to avoid a lawsuit.
Well, which is good for the customer. But because government does not try to avoid lawsuits, and so the services are the worst.
When you see the government, you have to wait 5 years to get any kind of results, etc., etc.
But not only that, with a lawsuit, why a private business is so trying to avoid it, because the money coming out of the pockets, whereas we government, the money ain't coming out of the politicians' pockets, it's coming out of the taxpayers' pockets.
Okay, gotcha,
so therefore,
Jeffrey.
they ain't afraid of getting lawsuits.
Gotcha, Jeffrey. Thanks for your contribution.
Thank you too for your time.
We know your stance when it comes to government and their role in development. Okay. So, yes, Jamster, we overlooked the tenure of Governor Sir Edmund Lawrence, who played a very vital role in our political development, as this contributor made me aware of. He presided over the possible motion of no confidence. That was a very, very interesting part of our development, etc. His role in the bank also, Development Bank, was very, we have a call? National Bank. And so how could we forget and overlook him? But I was just going through a rough thing. I do apologize for forgetting the contribution of Sir Edmund Lawrence. And again, what would they name after him? We have to look at legacies, you know. We have to look at legacies. Sir Edmund Lawrence. We have to, okay, let's take our governors. From Sir Milton Allen to Probin Innes, to Dr. Sebastian, to Sir Edmund Lawrence, to Sir, his name that we didn't mention earlier. The one that you can remember, Sir Tapley Seaton. And our current and first female Governor General. Okay. We claim that we're an independent nation, but of course, we're still a member of the British Commonwealth, of which the Queen or the King is the sovereign, the figurehead. And so we have to acknowledge the role of our Governor General. Good day, caller. You have one voices.
Yes, me again. Good afternoon, economist Greg.
Let's hear you on that one.
Some of what say theory, you know, but in practice it don't work.
That's what it said on paper.
Because
it looks
what you
good.
have is consolidation. Because remember, the aim of the free enterprise is to make profit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in America they have things where they make some companies break up.
Too big to fail, yeah.
Yeah.
Conglomerates.
Conglomerate. So you push out the smaller ones.
Look at 4th Street. You have not been there with it. We've been replaced. The small man has been replaced by the Asians.
Yeah.
Where is the regulatory body?
So while the theory sound good, in some countries and states, they don't allow you to open some of these Kmart or whatever.
In some areas.
In certain areas, you know. Because they shut down the mom and pop store.
Of course.
While the theory sound good, in the practice, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. We had the issue.
And you see, in the Bible, I love the Bible, you know. I have a Bible reader, I'm telling you. A lot of us need to go and read the book of Ezekiel, you know. See what God does to those who turn their back on him. So in the Bible, a lot of agrarian, they were trading, people traded between each other. But the greed element is worse in the private sector. The greed, because everybody aiming to make the highest profit they could.
Mm-hmm.
And their substitutes, if this person have a brand and they have a thing for it, you as a seller look for a similar item with a different name, that's why like milk and different things.
Okay.
So while they got a license thing, you bring in you could compete.
They own the franchise for that particular brand, right?
And
yes,
even the road you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
if you got a private road, you got to pay toll for it. So a lot of these things that he recommend, the poorer class of people are left out because they can't pay. They can't compete.
Government would be more inclined to look after the interests of the citizens because they want to be elected again. The private enterprise figure that time you have no other means but to come to them.
Well, it doesn't, and not quite there, you know, because the public goods are provided to facilitate faster trade and everything. You know, the only problem is maybe if the government was charging toll on the same road, that like the private sector who would charge toll, then they would be able to maintain them. Granted, of course, they pay road tax, wheel tax.
We do.
No, in Barbados, they don't pay wheel tax, you know. But every time you throw a gallon of gas in your vehicle, it is tax.
But it comes under a different name. Because
we didn't know that.
We paid here. When you go
so
to the
all them big vehicles, you might have been paying more road tax than what you pay. You know, but what he says, they're true, but those are for simpler economies.
It looks good on paper.
Agrarian or small traders.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing organized at the level at which we have, because at the level at which we are, it won't work. Now, in terms of price control, you cannot have price control on the open market. And it can't happen. It can't happen.
when the government were
Otherwise,
giving out...
the poor will never be able to buy anything.
Lord, man, I went to shop in a good mood, and 2 items on the thing just caught me. I just walk out.
You walk out to walk back in?
I ain't going back there yet. I went elsewhere because, competition, but really...
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to...
Ridiculous.
Before you make any purchase, you do comparative shopping. That's what I used to do, I wouldn't buy one thing in basket unless I know who are selling it and how much it costs.
We're out of time, but here's what. Back in the day, I'll go from Bark and Kelly to Hosford's to Rams, and it might be just about 5, 15, 20 cents difference in the price. But it may not sense because I am driving back and forth. It's costing me more to go back and forth in terms of gasoline, right? To please somebody who figure it's cheaper here, but you're not walking, you're driving, so it's going to cost me more. The end.
But Consumer Affairs had a thing online where they put up the price each week. I don't know, do it still. The shopping thing.
Yeah.
They tell you the item, the price for each outlet. So if we want to take the time to go online and look at the items that you buy, these are items in the food basket.
Okay.
Then it cuts down on you
Speaking about time, Sister Henry, we are out of time, so we can't take the time.
All right, then, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon,
thanks
Journey.
for your contribution.
You're a long journey, good afternoon, Journey.
Chai Grace asked me, how are thee? It's been a wonderful ask this morning for the first and second session of today's presentation of Voices. And God's willing, we'll be back here on Wednesday. Thanks, Jamster, Mr. Engineer on the board, for making it so easy and wonderful to work with you. Another day, another time. Okay?
This is your boy, Super Handy Andy.
And your girl, Sachi the Artist.
With your Super Handy Andy hurricane deals at Hospice Billing Center.
For the month of September.
Heavy duty